Ladies and gentlemen, I've talked enough. I want you to clap like a fucking maniac for Joanne Cornelius! Give it up! Oh, absolutely.
I just want to get a picture of everybody while you're
I gotta read the other stuff.
Ooh.
Proof over here.
proof that people came. Do you want me to take pictures of you while you read? Try me.
No, I won't be doing any pictures.
You won't? Actually,
Very lame on it.
I want to start out with a poem by D.A. Levy, whom I really like, and I thought it was pretty funny. It's this poem he wrote in 1963. It's one of his. It was from one of his very first books of poetry, Fragments of a Shattered Mirror. But the title of the particular poem I'm going to read is called "Thoughts Intercepted at a Bus Stop." It's very profound. Somewhere over the rainbow, there's a dump like this. I know it. I know it sounds impossible, but there is. And since I was born in a
You know what? Hold on 1 second.
One leg is gonna.
The leg is. Oh, I can't bend over.
There's
I
the
would,
mic.
but I can't.
Oh, you're afraid it's missing?
Yeah.
Somebody.
You see it. It's okay.
Yeah, okay, I hear
We're
it right now.
videotaping. I
You. What my son said.
okay. Since I was whoa, damn. Okay. Anyway, since I was born in a steel mill, I think I'll start off with a poem about a steel mill and my love of Steelyard Commons.
Don't mind the man behind the
Okay,
curtain.
okay. This poem is called.
We want to see you.
Okay. Am I good?
Is she good?
Yeah,
She's
very nice.
Okay.
very good. I hear.
Thank you, Steve.
This is called
these interruptions.
Steelyard Commons, a trip breaker saga. So while we were sleeping, they plug in and lay down a new path over the grave of. Stay out of my way, man. And while we were sleeping, they plugged in and laid down a new path over the grave of Grandpa's black lungs. And they call it, among other mind-sucking garbage, a tribute. But I call it shit. Because as long as a song of our city steelworkers' cries can still be heard in the darkness of my swollen valley, as long as the purses of our city steelworkers remain empty, as long as the pensions remain empty, as long as my grandma's dreams are dead, not even the allure and promise of a thick, crushed limestone towpath running through Steelyard Commons is going to turn me on. Cleveland, a la Mr. Potato Head. You'll find that I write a lot of poems about Cleveland. Anyway, they're odd, but they're Cleveland. Confused blobs of prefab domes and chrome bent over steel stuck upside down and sideways, right on top of its own cranium. Why, it's an architectural aberration, and like some wide-eyed wild child with slippery fingers and too much sugar, we eradicated and then resurrected a hodgepodge, plums with dislodged eyes. Our prize, our evolution, our city, we tossed its pieces parts into a big toy box and slammed the lid shut until tiny little soldiers kick it open once again. Okay. This is called Little House Above the Highway. I was married when I was like 10, And I got,
Oh, you're from West Virginia.
yeah, you know. No, seriously, I was married very young, and so we moved to the steel mills. No, so anyway, I was a young bride, and I moved into a house on West 15th Street, right above the exit ramp to off of 71. This poem is about my times there. It's called Little House Above the Highway. West 15th on the tip of nowhere, dangling over I-71 exit ramps, blown tires and 18-wheeler crawls are monsters at 3 a.m. while sitting alone, blowing smoke companions, peeping out of windows, waiting on your demons. J&L's fire-breathing dragons exhale and bang on my front door, snapping my window shades, exposing my burning eyes. That familiar roar and rancid breath protects me, and I know, somehow I know I am safe again tonight. Four times around the block. The ministry of the faux dog walker. She marches round and round, collecting droppings with her plastic spoons and her Ziploc storage bags. And like with some lab samples, she's careful not to injure the excrement. Licking the sidewalk and clinging on to her neighbor's good graces, she's burdened with his expeditious brakes. So she only goes 4 times around the block. And then he comes looking for her and tries to tie her to the fence. Mrs. B lives in a big stiff house on Montclair with a big old boat in the back and the big ass on the couch. She foams at the mouth, rabid with disgust, waiting until she can break free from her chain and bite his head off. But until then, she just goes 4 times around the block, over and over again. The Poetry Network. If cable TV put on a poetry show, I'd want the host to be none other than Chris Franke. His colored paper abundance he could flaunt like the cleavage of every Food Network star. Hey, Chris could bake up his rabbit stew while the teleprompter blew and his words mischievous and gloriously askew. I can just see him, you know? Okay, this is The Ride In. Drughead, pothead, greaser, preachers, dudes and bangers, losers and dreamers, funked out, mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, friends and teachers, inward, outward. It's a plan that blew up. It blew out. It messed me up, and it sent me to Parma. But it's funny because my head is still in Cleveland, and God damn it, I'm not going to travel to my town by highway because I'll miss Fulton Avenue and Monroe's big-ass trees that point me to the West Side Market and onto the Lorraine Carnegie Bridge where the pylons hide dirty little secrets and play funny little head games and worlds torpedo above me, below me, around me, the gulls, the viaducts. Oh, the luscious concrete towers and that steel. Oh, that steel. Cutouts, crisscross commotion, vroom, vroom, zing, zang. Wasted old men lost in bridges offer me plates of smoke. And I wonder if those vindictive lift bridge operators take dives into the thick water while dreaming of those monster options for their liquor licenses and they blink at I-90. Now this one is for Russell Solomon, but it's for a friend who just, for whatever, I want to go on about. It's called Mother's No. She pauses for a moment. Those blush berries burst to burgundy and veins hollow. Hers, a quick loss. The valley is amiss. The locks, they seem to have lost their sincerity. So we're tired of questions. Though certainly Tuesday is going to come before Wednesday, there's still not going to be any answers. So where has the tremor left us? Oh, a joy in the water, all the babies born and bathed in red pumice and ore. To husky-bearded men in sweaty cotton with clocks and paddles who cry for fire, while their mothers, silent, knew of some 100 trillion illuminated rapture strands that awaited their embrace. And brothers and sisters seeking a new air steal secrets that lie beneath the river rock across the canal where time is a single pebble. A single pebble to wires that cross mortar, pulling great jugs of wine and quenching the thirst of sea monsters and their revisions of land, those forgotten fragments, lost promises, made to dark clouds before the suns came, and there will be sun again. The mothers know, and from a single pebble, now held in hand. Hey, ladies' night video 42, Parma Ladies, 10% off all magazines on Thursday nights at Video 42, Pearl and Ridge. Afterwards, you can howl at the moon above Walgreens, right across the street, which is now a tombstone on the site of the old Barron's Restaurant Bar and Grill, where Mom once crushed the cockroaches and served 90-proof whiskey to the ladies at night. It was really disgusting there. I mean, that restaurant really was bad. Yeah, there were lots of bad things that happened there. And this is called Still Drunk. And it's funny, as I was figuring out what I was going to read tonight, I realized that it's like I've got so many poems that have the word drunk in them. It's so stupid. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I'm looking at you when I say that.
Thank you.
It's just so funny. Anyway, this is Still Drunk.
Another Drambuie, please.
Yeah. Steel Symphony, 3-part AM harmony, a perpetual dislocation of iron ornation. She-whore, born more, torrid morning, mourning for regurgitation, an Eagle Avenue awe, erosion, a Pollyanna population above the RTA rapid station. I explode into liquid lust and years of pouring out of you. Your eyes, your ears, your banjos, your harmonica, accordions, winding, winding, wind, wild chimes, strands, crazy rubber band colors. Blow out my pipes, a backwoods work torpedo, accept the invitation for colored rocks. Zappa and Hendrix Catman cocktail. Oh, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you over speed bump fucks. Amid ruckus, funk tucks, suck in, suck out, blow, malignant obsession fever. A very, very clever, sequential, centennial dunk, and I'm still so drunk on you.
Bump fucks. Best line of the night.
What?
Speed bump fucks.
Oh, they're awesome. Anyway, this is not. No Answers in the Valley. Somewhere between Boston Township and Africa, we listen to grass. And then you ask, can it be that our dreams are really what we're living? Or is it that what we're living is really just a dream? There were no answers, just hawks flying over the shadows of our bodies, lying naked in the valley. Like I said, I grew up in Cleveland, and I was from a large family, and you know, I had 5 brothers, and there was just a lot of crazy stuff that went on. And it just seemed like there were too many kids that I knew that ended up dead for lots of different reasons. So this is a poem about that. Dead man. Tin cans, dead man. Pop bottles, dead man. Dead man, 15, 18, 30, any years. Dead man. Cars, dead man. Pot, dead man. Guns, dead man. Rope, dead man. Boys' dreams, dead. Man, boys' toys, dead. Man, boys' candy, dead. Man, boy's life, dead. So, like, John's drowned, Harry's shot, Tom's shot, Tim's shot, Robbie's crashed. Yeah, like Mike's crashed, Jerry's crashed, another Mike's crashed, and now Ryan's hung. Dead men, dead boys, they're dead, 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 That all the boys are fucking dead. Mill sunset. Oh, sky explosion, lava wink. Lines, rock, flick, spark. Silence is beg, and every blood moment walks into the next. Hues burn, blur, treats threaten vertebrae, drunk. Doesn't matter. Scoot, squirt, ooze, matter. Pit aluminum, drink plutonium, scent, shoe farts late at night. Puffballs billow towards my walls, absorbing it all. From my little house above the mills, where centurions with metal lunch buckets and their babushka-clad stadababas still rock on my front porch, sunburned. Peanut Hill. Some tire, and they wrap themselves around the fallout of time-deficient, loosely wrapped and twisted inoculants. A finger trap, elation gone, really, really bad. Off one afternoon on a hill, snow, Monday. In the holiday room, we ate stale peanuts on the bed after we made, like, almost love. There's too much depth in the bones of splitting oaks, sputtering. Bark particles fell from white sky delusions, as if a face full of poetry could have ever been enough. Woo!
Pull some stuff.
I've got like 1,000 poems here. What's my time limit?
All right, when'd you start?
Lock the door. She's reading her collected works.
I don't know. I didn't
tell
look
me
at a watch.
about it.
It's about
I'm
20
sorry.
minutes or so.
Okay.
In total. I mean, when did we get
This is
started?
called
About 10:30. 10:30. We started at 10:30. So
Wow.
yeah,
In
3 or 4 more.
Okay. In New York City. Okay. She fit below worlds of heat seekers exiting off of lounge chairs. The retro light couldn't pay the rent. Narnia hurt, and the men melted. Not every day of every week of every month of every year was cash. Jesus, it felt like sun shoes when neon signs fed her. So how hard can life lotteries be? Raw. Toothpaste caps became earplugs to bursts of birthing vinyl. Joe led the fixed red eyes into cotton clinics and demanded meaning. She was kicked out by firecrackers in her face. Glass sandwiches satisfied the rolling boxes. Random domes smashed into her, and fleeing foothold, she finally evaporated. This is a madman of West 28th. This is for my father. So we called him the madman. Clink, clink, clink went the manual typewriter high above the old colonials on West 28th. Clink, clink, clink. All night long he'd pound those keys. He really slept little. He spent his time exposing capitalistic society, dismissing most of us as morons. We believed anything that we were told, and that everyone was not a free thinker, but everyone should be a free thinker. He'd make it big someday, and then we wouldn't have to worry. He'd get his great work published, and Marx would be king, and we'd move. We laughed at him behind his back, really afraid of him. We peeked at his work. We really didn't understand it. It was garbage, garbled, goofy, like anti-American. Piles and piles of words were everywhere. We'd find them all around the house. Senseless words to us like Marx and socialist and capitalist and revolution. He wrote high above us on the 3rd floor, in the attic, by the window, which he kept open all the time, and we'd hear clink, 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 as we played ball below on the brick street, and we argued over who'd go to the store with the food stamps. Below him inside, mother, oh mother, beautiful, dutiful, good Catholic mother, and us 10 kids too. He ranted regularly to anyone who came. He even called Dorothy full-time once and insisted that a college-educated man like himself, with a brood of 10, deserved a decent job in this country. And she obliged. And he was resurrected to work the rest of his life for the county, helping babies who had babies find their daddies and make them pay. So like now I sit in my basement, clink, clink, clink on the keyboard, and I pound out words like peace and D.A. Levy is king. And nobody really understands me. But someday I'm going to make it big, and we're going to move out of here, and maybe even to a colonial on West 28. This is sort of Burroughs-esque. Burroughs-esque? Is that a word?
Okay.
Burroughs-esque?
Holy-esque.
Okay. This is called excuse me.
Another Grand Bowie, please.
Now, excuse me, I'll take a Manhattan on the rocks, or a Corona Light. A rock, or a light tonight. Excuse me, I'll take a Corona on the rocks, or a Manhattan Light. Now, this is all too confusing. Give me a light Manhattan, Corona rock, or a rock of Corona. Oh, hell, just give me a ride home. Okay, just a couple more and then I'm out of here. Streets of glass. I walk on crushed glass streets without cutting my toes. A million Brillo-pad miracles sit between thick-skinned travelers. Egypt, Austria, Poland. Time is hard. There are problems. Yellow canaries never made it out of the mines. Dillonvale is now a coal dust sobriety test. Busha is widowed. The church lost his birth records during the war. Infantile highways roll through front doors. Concrete trees shake babies flocking to a new sun scripture. Burning, healing, the pain is gone. I have come home. Okay, two more. Is that enough time for two more? Or?
You
got
one
all
more.
the
time.
Maybe one more.
All right, I'll end it with
Unless they're both
Mr.
really-
Blinker. Mr. Blinker. I'll take Mr. Blinker.
Okay.
Mr. Blinker and his velvet roof. So around Dead Man's Curve going east in a 1970s gold velvet sofa that teeters funky atop your burnt orange Pinto roof with its deflated tires. Hey, your right blinker's been on since 71 in Bagley, but hell, that's just fine with me. Because I've decided miles and miles ago not to pass you. Because I find your modest motor manner mesmerizes me. And brother, I believe I've fallen in love with you. You and your salt and pepper crazy hair and your free blinking ways. Highwayman, I dig your faded WMMS bumper sticker that stretches over the wooden bumper and the butts that you toss out of the holes in
That's
your
my car.
plastic garbage. See, you're a Clevelander. Plastic garbage bag windows. You Clevelander, you unaffected, unscathed, shaky but steady, hitting 55 with a piece of freaking furniture on your head, and you don't give a shit. You just keep moving ahead.
Get the Toastmaster out back and come back in front. The Toastmaster over there. Get the Toastmaster back in there.